Hi all, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today I want to talk about a quick video about any broker or crypto exchange. Uh, I'm finding the ATR average true range is a reliable and probably the only reliable exit indicator out there. It's simple, it's got a lot of simple math, not a lot of complications behind it. You can use an ATR for your calculation. You can also use multipliers of anywhere from, I'm going to say, 1.5 to times 2 for your closing price, for your up and lower target moves. And the good thing is with ATR, you can adjust those. So, for instance, you can use these as your take profit and stop loss, and you can adjust the multiplier to your liking to see what works for you based upon market conditions. So, for instance, if you want to have a very tight stop loss, you could use half, like 1.5, on the downside on your stop loss to tighten the losses if there's chances of having a negative whipsaw go against you. So that's something you can always consider. With crypto, I'm finding 1.5 is good enough. One can be somewhat too tight. And the other factors that you need to consider when it comes to something like Binance is with Binance, there is a commission fee of 0.1%. So 0.1% on the buy. The sell, you'll have the same. So you'll have really 1/10% or 0.1% times 2 for the buy, and then another one for the sell. So it's 0.2% that you need to consider for your round trip on both the buy and the sell to complete the trade. So always factor that in. So if you're using a multiplier and you're using, let's say, 1.5, 0.2% of that will be used for commission fees. So you'll be left with 0.3%. So what I'm finding is you need to adjust between 1.5 to 2 to figure out your optimal profit. And again, you can always adjust it based upon other indicators. Maybe if you have a lot of strong momentum or strong regression angle or slope, or a strong rate of change where it's all positive over a certain amount of time, whatever your time frame is. So you have those to consider. So there's a lot of experiments going on in this. And the other big thing is with Binance, even though you do get your price on the close or the exit, it may not hit the exact type of price you're looking at. Depends upon if you are using a market order, because with market orders you get faster fills. So that's what I use. If you're using a limit order, you have to worry about partial fills to complete the full order or trade. Also, other things that you need to consider are what's the difference between orders and trades. Orders are where you put your one buy or two buys, but collectively they can make up a trade. So factor that in when you look at your Binance reports. The other thing is that a lot of people will not consider is slippage. I put up an article on my Facebook group. Don't ask me where, it's probably buried by now. But it talked about how fast Binance will fill certain pairs. For instance, if you have a pair that's traded in the Bitcoin markets, it might fill faster than the Ethereum markets. Forget right now, as of today, November 6th, if you're using, let's say, US dollar T, or otherwise known as Tether, or XRP or BNB, the fills will be next to non-existent for what you're looking for. So I'm not trading in those markets. I'm only trading in Ethereum and Bitcoin. I will eventually open a new account with Binance USA to trade in fiat currency of US dollar. I've got confirmation with Binance Jersey, which supports both euro and British pound. There's literally no volume there, and the coin selection is like almost not even 5 probably. So factor that in. But sorry about all this, but in the world of any broker or exchange, you have to worry about something called slippage. Again, that depends upon your type of order, and you may want to close it out at a certain price. But when you do close out the price, for instance, Binance will calculate the fee, convert it into BNB, Binance coin, and then bring back a net total of what the order is. So the commission fee is very small, negligible, but it is a factor, and that's a factor for profit on each order. And the other thing is that with Binance, you need to worry about slippage, because when you close out a price, it'll be different. So if you're using something like CCXT for Python, or a Python package called CCXT, you might want to get the latest price by using a fetch, which is next to real time. So that will be a lot more accurate. Another factor that's coming into play that I'm realizing may be precision. And the one that we don't have real absolute control over is a pricing engine on your orders when you try to close them out. So the pricing engine, depending upon what price you set in the quantity, those fills, the length of time on the fills will be dependent on the actual pair, the market condition for that pair, meaning the liquidity or volume, and you will get a different price. So you may actually get a lower price than you thought, which would mean you could get a loss even though your bot is actually profitable. So there is that. I can't say if Binance goes out of their way to cheat people out, because you're going into the digits of like 8, and when you work it up from there to scale it out to get bigger quantities, when you put out your orders, those losses can really add up if they are ending up cheating on you. So you want to keep those, when you're testing out bots, to keep those bots and minimum to, or keep the amount on the quantity of the order to its minimum, bare bone minimum, until you know you have a winning strategy. In my case, from what I'm seeing with the raw data, it's got a win ratio very high of probably at least 2/3, meaning about 66%, maybe higher. I don't know, but when it comes to live trading, it flops and it drops the win ratio down to like 20-30%. So who knows what it is? It could be slippage. It could be again the ATR where the multiplier is set too low. So trying to work on it. I'll come back with a better video, but I just wanted to put these factors out there that you will come across. If you're trading in the world of forex, it could get worse. Some of the big forex brokers, if you set a take profit on something like MetaTrader and you let the broker know, a hard signal back to the broker knowing that you want to close out at a certain price to take profit, or even on a stop loss, what you're essentially doing is you're telling the broker where you want to get out. And some of the times, and I'll say with a lot of the bad brokers or corrupt brokers, what they'll do is they'll kick you out of trades prematurely. So even though your profit won't be as high, or your stop loss may get screwed up. So it's a lot worse in brokers at the forex level. I don't think Interactive Brokers does it. I don't see why they're big enough to ruin their reputation over something stupid like that. There are probably some good brokers out there, like maybe LMAX, maybe one called TrueFX, both out of England, and they look okay. I can't say what other brokers out there that look good for forex, and for sure in the options and futures space, this would be a no-go because they're heavily regulated by was it NFA or CFTC in the States, so I don't think they go out of their way to cheat people out. And I've had discussions earlier this week about crypto if you go into my elite section, a video earlier today or earlier this week on Monday, where we did talk about this. And out of only the crypto brokers that are clean, if clean, is Binance. Everyone else I don't trust. So a lot of to chew on there. I wish I could give you better news, but the only way to get around it is by testing with minimum orders for your bots and whatever exchange or forex broker you go with. You got to really test this stuff out before you go really serious, because you can lose a lot of money thinking that your bot may work if you backtest, but it doesn't work when you go live. But there's a lot of reasons why, and these are the reasons why I speak of. So I would strongly recommend to test and test and test with the recommendations before going full live with big money on each position or order you want to put on. Hopefully I'll help you out, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good day.